What you doing, Jay?
I'm broadcasting to the Instagram world beautiful pictures of my drums. I'm telling them that you're making a video that'll be available on the World Wide Web.
Sweet.
Yeah. For the studio, I don't do a whole lot different than what I would do if I was regularly practicing. I kind of like to improvise with the fills and stuff like that, so I just kind of have a basic framework of what I'm trying to do, and then if there's some sort of fill or something that I really like and I key in on, then I'll remember that and bring it to the session. But generally speaking, like once we get in the studio, the idea for the song or the ideas may not all be fully formed, so sometimes I get it in one try. Usually not. Usually take a couple of tries to get through the song and figure out what I like best from the track before, or just from what is feeling right in my head that day. And then to try and be precise, you know, not be lazy with the drum parts, you know, whereas live you can get away with a little bit more of, you know, maybe a little bit of a flub here and there. But in the studio, of course, you want it to be clean and nice for the most part, unless you're just really purposefully playing sloppy to make it work for the song or something like that. So yeah, the difference between studio and live and rehearsal, just be a little more on top of your game in the studio, really. You know, of course live you want to nail your parts, but still live, I don't always necessarily play the fills I record live, because I do like that improvisational part of the brain, you know, so it's always fun to do something different. We hold the door. We light the
recording this album, the experience was it's been pretty much typical of the last two recording sessions I've had with Jason, because like I'm in another band with him as well, so I've done probably this is maybe the fourth album I've done with him, and so he's such a good drummer and is so tight and so professional at what he does that it makes it so much easier. You get in there, the drums sound great, you know, everything is so much easier to lay bass on top of a drummer that plays like that. So when we're recording, it's simple. I mean, this session, we showed up, we set up, and while he was playing drums, I tracked the bass at the same time and just tried to save as many of my tracks as I possibly could. And I mean, we were done, and I don't know how many hours it took, but just the bass tracking alone, I only had a few punch-ins, and that was it. We played through the songs 3 or 4 times, each one, and you know, Jason's just so tight that playing bass to him is simple.
I think that this particular recording process overall has been actually really smooth. Both studios that we worked in were not only we were familiar with the rooms and also the engineers and people that we worked with, but we were relatively well rehearsed So that was nice. But I think overall, like, everything has turned out probably better than I anticipated, especially the vocal stuff that we just finished working on. I think is far surpassed what I expected from either one of us chuckleheads. So.
And for me, being able to record with the guys I'm playing with it's a treat, it's a pleasure. They're all super professional. I think it's neat that most of us, if not all of us, had a lot of fun recording this, and that's different for me, because usually for recording you're stressed and you have deadlines, and this one there wasn't. This one we were just kind of hanging out.
No, we'll get stressed out when the bill shows up.
Yes, that's when we'll get stressed out. Being the new guy within the band, it was intimidating. You know, these guys have a long history of doing way more awesome things than me, and you kind of get that feeling where you're going to be kind of the gun for hire. But ultimately, as the song started to kind of take shape and ideas started to land on the table from not just from old ideas I had, they were welcoming to any ideas I had. And the crazy part is, as I would bring riffs to the table and songs to the table, and they would understand what I was trying to do, and they'd make it better. Jason is, I don't have to tell anybody that Jason's a stupid good drummer, and he has the ability to hear an idea in a completely different way, and transform any idea I had into something that I didn't know I was working on, which is actually really cool.
Generally, you want to track the drums first because that is the foundation of the music. It's easier to build from the drums up through the vocals than it is to go backwards. It's more difficult to come in and play drum tracks to guitar and bass and stuff that's already recorded than it is vice versa. So, plus the drummers always go first because they're the best. They win. So now that I'm done with the drums, I'm just kind of gonna sit around, drink a beer, watch the other guys fuck up and laugh because they were laughing at me when I was fucking up. Add my input if it's needed, I might throw out a yoga mat and do some stretching while I'm listening to these guys track. And that's about it. My day is done for the most part.
I mean, I'd love to be able to say that we could just drop everything and go tour and make money and play music. I would love to be able to do that, but I think the older we get, and the music industry the way it is, the less and less chance we have of that happening. But so hopefully people will be excited, and we'll be able to write some more material and put out another EP pretty soon, after this one even. So I don't know. I'd love to be able to go overseas and play in the UK and all that. I've never been outside the country except for Mexico, so I'd like to go do something like that. I mean, that would be an amazing thing to do with these guys, especially with, as our kids are growing and we're working and stuff. The whole rock lifestyle thing kind of goes out the window. But
I think that anytime you are involved in not only a small music scene, but you've been doing it for a fair amount of time, like all of us have. Obviously, Jason and I have a lot of history playing together. Jason and Marcus have played in other projects together. Jess has done a bunch of projects, as has Marcus, besides the ones with Jason. So we all knew each other within this little scene in Reno, but Jason and I were the only ones that ever really played for an extended period of time. I think the nice thing about the way this lineup has ended up is that it's nobody's first rodeo, and we all not only know each other on a personal level to varying degrees when it started, but also we know what we're doing and we know what we're looking for from this thing that we're going to be spending our time and energy on. And I think it's worked out really great. I don't think that I could ask for a better group of dudes to play this like ridiculous music with. And it's been super easy, and I think that this album is going to be a fine example of where things can head.
For me, as far as what I think is going to be next for us is, this album was a long time coming. When I started playing with these guys have been playing some of these older songs by the time I showed up, some of them over 5 years, so they were hitting a spell at the time where it's not that you get sick of playing good songs, but any good song can get burned out, and now we're to the point now where this last album took us 1.5 years, 2 years to get solid. We have to write, we're very creative people, and I'm a creative person, Mark's a creative person, Jason's a creative person, Marcus is exponentially creative, and it's important for us to sit down and figure out where the music needs to go. Like listening to the songs on this album, there's influences from everywhere, and my favorite part of playing with these guys is writing. And I know for me, when we finish whatever show we have coming up next, I want to sit down and I want to workshop a lot of new songs.
I think the key to if the what happened next is the question, then obviously we've just finished this project that we're all super proud of, I think, and I think it's turned out really, really great. So obviously we'll keep playing gigs and trying to put these songs out in front of as many people as possible, but we'll probably within the next couple weeks already start writing whatever will be the next one. Just because, why not? I mean, if the ideas are there and they're good, then we should put them out there. I mean, I don't believe in long player albums anymore anyway, so I figure if we can put out 5-6 song EPs, even a couple times a year if it's possible, then you should do that. So we're gonna just keep writing and just kind of see where things head. There's no master plan except that band
Master plan.
so
Don't forget that.
really good.